Hello, Old School Comics Review. Okay, this time we're going to look at Guardians of the Galaxy. Alright, and I've got the first trade paperback of the new version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. My original intent was going to be I was going to try to compare this to the 70s version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And what happened was I realized that there were like a couple issues from that initial run that I never did read, and then I was thinking, well, maybe I should try to track them down or whatever and read them. Then I started thinking, what about the 90s version that came out a while back? A lot of people like that version, but I had never read any of those. And then I was like, well, there was a trade paperback with those, with the initial arc of, that version of the comic, but then I think it's out of print, and then I was thinking, well, maybe I'll just go to the local comic book store and just pick up some issues, but then I was like, I don't want to pay too much, so maybe I should go online and da-da-da this and da-da-da-da, and it just, thinking about it became more effort than I wanted to spend on it because, I'm lazy. Okay, so we're just going to look at the most recent version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I can cheat and say it's old school because it has these old 70s and 80s characters in it. Maybe, but okay. Basically, this is called Legacy. It is written by Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning, and the penciler is Paul, and I apologize if I say his name wrong, Pelletier, and inker is Rick Magyar. Magyar. I apologize if I said his name wrong. Basically, this is a really fun comic. Basically, you've got these sort of pseudo-cosmic spacefaring characters banding together to form a team to, of course, guard the galaxy. It's kind of a spin-off of a crossover slash mini event that Marvel Comics came out with a few years ago called Annihilation or Annihilation Conquest, which was a thing for, like I said, their more cosmic and space-oriented characters that really hadn't been used very much in recent years. And I think it was kind of well received. I didn't read it when it came out, but I've heard some good things about it, so I might kind of check out some of that stuff. In this issue, or this incarnation of the group is basically, like I said, well, what initially drew me to the, I had bought a few random issues, and then I thought it was good, so I went out and bought the trade. But what drew me to it initially was just seeing on the cover all these like old characters on there. You've got the Peter Quill Star-Lord, who was a character that showed up in a couple of science fiction magazines that Marvel put out back in the mid-70s. You've got Rocket Raccoon, who was spun off from like the Hulk back in the early 80s, early mid 80s. You got Phyla Vale from the most recent Captain Marvel series, and the most probably popular character here is Adam Warlock, who once again goes back to the 70s, but I think a lot of people probably know him from the Infinity Gauntlet series that came out a while back that was pretty popular. And you also have Drax the Destroyer and Gamora, who are friends or colleagues or whatever of Adam Warlock. Okay, basically what this story is, or the first arc is, it's basically them more or less establishing a team and establishing, what their mission is going to be, and we kind of get to see the world they live in and their environment and the threats they're going to have to deal with, and so on and so forth. And I had a lot of fun with this comic. Just to describe a little bit of it, like I said, they decide they're going to stay together to, of course, guard the galaxy. They have to kind of fight, on one hand, the Church of Universal Truth, which is kind of this sort of pseudo Spanish Inquisition type organization. They go around and try to convert people to their religion. If people don't want to convert, then they kill them. And they also have to deal with a couple of characters who show up from, like I said, the 70s version of the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is really set in the future. And they have to figure out why are these guys in the past and what's going on. One of the characters is like, no, wait a minute, something's wrong here. There's not supposed to be any group calling themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy in this timeline. You guys have messed something up, and there's conflict there. What I like about this story is Well, it's just lots of. First of all, it's just lots of fun. You've got a good mix of different types of characters, different power sets, different personalities. There's lots of humor in here. It's not a jokey, lighthearted, campy thing, but there are little elements of that, and I kind of like that. When it's supposed to be serious and exciting and dramatic, it is. But like I said, they leave a lot of room for humor. One thing I really like about it. Well. I'll get back to that in a moment. Basically, their kind of base or whatever is this space station called Nowhere, and what it is kind of like this way station port, for people throughout the galaxy, whatever, teleporting back and forth or whatever. And the team doesn't really have any real hardcore authority, so Peter Quill, Star-Lord, is kind of have to like deal with the politics of the people who do run the spaceship. On one hand, they're like, hey, you can't tell my team what to do. On the other hand, those people are like, well, hey, who elected you Guardians of any Galaxy anyway. So there's that back and forth, give and take, kind of like I said, working out the politics, which I kind of like. And the space station is basically the helmet of a Celestial. And for people who don't know, the Celestials were this race of space giants from beyond time. And I just think it's kind of funny. Like I said, there's a severed head of a Celestial floating around, and some people have said, hey, let's make a space station out of it. I think that's pretty funny. Oh, another thing that's pretty funny is there's a character in there, the head of security on Nowhere is a dog named Cosmo, and Cosmo is actually a real dog, and the whole deal is back in the 50s, the Soviets sent dogs into outer space, in the early days of the space race to see if, to see if it would work. And the joke is, supposedly Cosmo was out there flying around in space for so long, he somehow developed intelligence and telepathic powers. So, you've got him, there's funny dialogue with him and Rocket Raccoon, where for some reason Rocket Raccoon doesn't like him, and there's no real reason. He just rubs him the wrong way for some reason. Another thing, lots of funny dialogue. Oh, another thing I really like about it is on this team you've got some pretty powerful people here. You've got Phyla, you've got Warlock, you've got Star-Lord, you've got Drax, who's Drax the Destroyer. You've got Gamora, who's the most dangerous person in the world. Or not dangerous person, most dangerous woman in the galaxy there. But you also got Rocket Raccoon, and I can see how if somebody else had done this series, they might have just played that character strictly for laughs. And they do kind of play his personality like he's a likable smartass, but they also play him as kind of the master tactician and badass. So it's like if everybody else shows up to the fight with a gun and a knife, Rocket's going to show up with the biggest gun, the biggest knife, and a handful of grenades on top of that. So it's like if you want somebody to blow a hole in the perimeter, Rocket's the guy that's doing it. I kind of like that sort of the way they play that character. Other things I like, there's not a whole lot of drawn out, I hate to be like grumpy old man talking about decompression and things like that. And while the story is giving room to breathe, it's just not this thing where you're wading through pages and pages and pages of like small talk. There's stuff going on every page, and most of it's relevant to the plot or to the action or whatever's going on. There's not this sort of killing time for the sake of filling up pages. There's not a lot of filler, that's what I should say. I also like the art. Not super detailed or super splashy, but it's got a nice style, pleasing to the ear, pleasing to the eye. The storytelling is really clear. You're always able to tell what's going on, and if things are hectic and confusing, it's only because there's lots of crazy stuff happening in the actual story, So it's a lot of fun. Another thing I like, it's pretty interesting that in the initial chapters, they're kind of told in partial flashbacks where the characters are actually going through a debriefing. And, once again, pretty funny how you see how the story is being told, once again, through the different personalities of the different characters, and that's another good way to meet all the key players and see how they're similar and different from each other. Actually, I had a lot of fun with this comic. I would say pick it up if you like cosmic stories, space stories, science fictiony things. If you like team books, definitely check it out. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I hope I didn't embarrass myself too much. Tell me what you think. Check out my blog if you like. Tell me what you think of my blog. I got to thank you very much, and you have a great day.